exercises. A lot of them are very short exercises. And then you have a set time to write it in. So this is the beginning. We shall begin now. This is a quote from Gardener's Question Time. Yesterday. I don't know who said it. It was someone. It was a gardener on Gardener's Question Time, Radio 4. Planting a tree is an act of faith for the future. Shall I repeat? Planting a tree is an act of faith for the future. I don't know if you want to write that. I don't want to write that. So this is a 3-minute exercise. I'm going to set an alarm on this so there'll be a beeping noise. So anything you're thinking of in response to that?
We go and look at you, loveliest, long-living you. On the slope, the steep slope below the old farm, Jerusalem farm, her former home. The inscription in stone beneath your branches, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, her philosophy. For we planted you there after her death, a beautiful and fitting tribute to someone more than special. And that's true, it's there. I've even got pictures in my phone.
Have faith that whatever you do will bear fruit. It may be sweet, bitter, large or small. It may last or it may not. I always remember that large years. I always remember from my school report. Usually followed by could try harder.
The tree grows. It moves upwards and downwards, colonising air and earth. Today it is dusted with snow. One day it will stop growing. Another day it will stop living.
Planting a wooden spoon would be brave. Planting a wooden spoon would be more brave and foolish than a tree. A spoon would never grow a bud. In fact, it would be quite a dud. However, should you plant a spatula, you might find that growing atula. It's heartfelt.
Yes. Could you read it again, maybe a bit slower?
Planting a tree is an act of faith for the future. What a wonderful hope for the future, that someone would think like that. So many people seem to have the attitude, well, I won't be here, so I don't really care, I'm too old, I'll soon be gone, and the people who come after me will have to sort it out for themselves. What a selfish attitude. The sort of attitude that has put us in the state that we're in now. Polluted earth, polluted sea, polluted water, polluted air, because people don't think about the future.
Very good. Yes. You criticise yourself.
Faith can make mountains move. What a cliche, and what actually does it mean? Faith, hope and charity. My great-grandmother had triplets and named them that. They all died. Children and grandchildren are our hope for the future, and we just pray that there will be one.
But most jokes are based on very serious things, aren't they?
It's the superb irony of naming these triplets. Triplets at least we'd hope one or two would survive that, a triplet. To lose all the, and then after you've known them, faith over each
That was quite funny.
You by Alan Littlewood. How could I forget you? You blazed into my life like a whirlwind, scattering all my carefully prepared personality all over the floor. You helped me pick up the pieces, put them all in the wrong order, and taught me how to just laugh about it. Suddenly my anchor was loosed. I had no time to take bearings, to ask my usual sensible questions. We fled from party to party, from thrill to spill. The crash was, I suppose, inevitable. Now they have taken you away, and I, like a strange balloon, float above the surface of the earth.
Ooh.
And that the two little girls, my wife called that fairy snow because they were playing around with a packet of fairy snow, washing powder in. People, children playing, was my favourite subject. And just went there and just took them, took photographs. I always used to carry a camera with me and then spend the rest of my life printing them, developing and printing them. They were just meeting one another, I guess. I don't know whether I didn't ask what else they were doing. They were next to Apple Crescent, which was where they used to have a finishing school for Edinburgh young ladies, posh end of Edinburgh. Quite often I'd just take a picture and move on. So there wasn't very much context, just the moment, the significant moment.
How come? What were they doing?
No idea.
Oh, right.
That's what they're doing, just moving house, doing what children do, sort of pushing stuff around. You can get arrested these days for taking a lot of things. The photos of children. They're just playing around with his friends in the street. And I think when he saw the camera, he thought he'd just be, king of be the boss cat, sort of taking up a Napoleonic sort of position. Maybe you could say a male, showing off the male versus, there's some girls there, aren't there? So he's sort of doing the male thing. That's Edinburgh in the Student Union, which is a student meeting place, especially for medical students. But it's open to all students, Edinburgh University students. My camera I painted black all over, so it was not very obvious. And I would set it up so that all I had to do was point it and could move on in a few seconds. So by the time I'd taken it, they'd only just notice me, and then I'd be away. I wouldn't spend a long time focusing and everything. It's not my talent. It's they set things up. All I do is I turn up with the camera and they're liable to pose a bit. I then met Jane after I'd done all this. And she tempted me down to London. And then I decided that I'd been cheeky for long enough and I should photograph something more colourful. That sort of photography is totally absorbing, Requires a lot of effort. But here we are in the digital age. Well, you don't need focusing. You don't need to have to work out the exposure. You don't have distance. You don't have to develop the film and print the film, enlarge it and everything. It'd be interesting to see how long the digital lasts. Because, with Magna Carta, which was written, nearly 1,000 years ago, you can read. We were talking about handwriting. They wrote it down, and it's lasted all that time. But the chances are that digital stuff will only last a few years, you know, before the chip loses its memory. You know, you don't have to work things out like you used to, and the brain isn't being exercised. I mean, they have the passion for photography, passion for exercise these days, but they don't have the passion for exercising the brain, you know.